How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Friday here on the show. Fun Friday. You know what that means? We got a lot to talk about here today. Saturday is the Royal Rumble. It is here. We've got a men's and a women's Royal Rumble match. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Gunther and AJ Styles. Perhaps more added on SmackDown. SmackDown is, it's taped, but we're not going to give spoilers here on this show. But we'll talk about as much of the Royal Rumble as we can without giving away spoilers. That's coming up here tonight. Also this weekend, we have got Collision, which was, we got an announced lineup for Saturday. 5 matches scheduled for that show. There is a AAA show and more. We, of course, were not here yesterday, so we can do some thoughts on Dynamite and last night's TNA Impact. And we'll also be talking all of the news, including an update on Braun Strowman, who, in fact, needs to undergo surgery for the infection we were talking about a couple of days ago. We've got more news on the Rumble and Powerhouse Hobbs and Tommaso Ciampa, the WWE 2K26 video game. We got notes on Collision and NXT ratings. A lot to talk about with those two numbers, including an all-time record low for one of them. And we'll also get into MJF, Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth wants to have a match with MJF, even though one's in TNA and one's in AEW. He thinks it's possible. Chase Owens re-signing with New Japan. And Cody Rhodes has a request for wrestlers when he dies. That's right. So a lot to get into here today. If you want to text us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. F4W Online Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Let's do this unnecessary censorship.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just your ass.
That was terrible. Horrible. They weren't the Heart Foundation. They weren't the British Bulldogs, okay? They're two geeks. And this celebration these guys did. Oh. I mean, they're like, Sean, give me brother. Yeah.
A place like that?
You two dorks. That's what you did. Why are you so excited?
Because they're awesome.
Okay. That was better than the first one.
It picked up at the end there.
Yes.
Unnecessary censorship.
He beat him. And 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 he beat him. I'm sweating.
Time to stop.
And he beat him.
Was this edited?
And then he beat him. And he
I don't
beat
think
him.
so.
I actually wore that shirt. It just says he beat him. He beat him. He beat him all the way down. Like,
All the way down, you say?
I dropped her off at camp, and the camp counselor just looks at me. She goes, "He beat him and beat him." I was like, gag gift.
Brian, would you for me again this week? It's too hot to do much.
That's true. It is too hot to do much.
I guess I just better do it because it came up for me.
I'll wait.
It won't come up again. It's pretty short, so I'll just do it. Yeah. Now I gotta find it back.
Okay.
It isn't
Damn, I'm
coming
gonna
up.
kill you. How about you just it? Okay.
Ouch.
What else we got, Vinny? I hope that Granny licks her finger to turn the page. Lick that finger. There'll be
Page
an
2.
unnecessary censorship coming up. Lick that. Okay, let's see. Unnecessary censorship.
So Oro Ethan after the match and gets his ass just into the earth.
Vinny.
And Ethan is leaving, holding his all confident. And then Oro just comes back to life, and now he Ethan's ass.
Oro jumps him from behind.
Yep.
Then he his ass after cheap shotting the guy. Haha. That was interesting. That's quite unnecessary. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm is joining us here for the first two segments here on the show. We're not going to force Lance to have to review his own Impact show. That wouldn't be right.
No, because if I praise it, I'm a shill, and if I bury it, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, so we're not going to make you do it. That's what I just said.
Yes, I'm explaining why.
Yes, I think everyone can figure that out. But anyway, long before we get to that, we got a lot to get into. I want to wish the best to Adam Scher, the former Braun Strowman. On Instagram, he posted a video thanking fans for their support. As he battles an infection in his knee, he has undergone surgery and is finally starting to feel the pain subside. He's been in the hospital 4 days, but should only have to spend one more night there. Just had surgery, had an infection in my bursa around my patella and my knee. It got out of control. They went in this morning, removed the bursa from the knee, drained a bunch of fluid, left the wound open to continue to drain. It's going to be a couple of days, still taking it easy. Think I got to stay in here one more night, then I get to go home, and then recovery. Still got a ways to go to get over this hump all the way with the infection and stuff, but the pain is finally starting to subside some. Doesn't feel like my kneecap is going to explode anymore. Thank you all for the continued prayers, well wishes, means the world to me. You guys are getting me through this. Been praying a lot to God, asking him to keep me calm, keep my guidance. Had an awesome team for the surgeries, recovery, and we're kicking. We're still kicking. I thank you. Love you all so much for the support. Thank you. And that's all I can say. I'll keep you updated. So that thing got bad, out of control. And they did the surgery, and hopefully he'll be literally back on his feet soon.
Yeah, best him. Like we said, I think on Wednesday, it's like those infections are serious. And, it got worse, and hopefully it'll get better now.
They are no joke. All right, so tomorrow's the Royal Rumble. And we have 4 matches at this point. The Men's Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, Gunther versus AJ Styles, and whatever they do or do not do on SmackDown coming up tonight. Now, obviously, there are going to be some surprises. We have a list of names that we've gone over many times, but there are always going to be surprises. And Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Mr. Iguana, most likely Royce Keys, the former Will Hobbs, and Tatum Paxley, Ethan Page, Obafemi, Tiffany Stratton. Those appear to be, and Nikki Bella. So those are many of the expected surprises. Could be more.
Mr. Iguana's in, but no room for you, Finn.
There's no room for Finn Balor. He should have declared before Mr. Iguana.
He shouldn't have been playing those video games all the time.
What he should do is shave his head and paint his face and come out as Mr. Iguana. And then win. Then reveal he's Finn Balor. But anyway, the talent was told over the last couple of days, because every time they go to any of these places, they are just bombarding social media with photos. And we talked the other day about how Ray put up that photo of him and Dragon Lee and Penta all unmasked, and they were covering their faces or whatever. But apparently, I don't know if something happened or if this is just to make sure something doesn't happen, but the talent was told to ease up on the photos because there's concern that some surprise is going to be in the background of one of the photos and reveal something. So they're trying to avoid stuff getting out, but I mean, they had people in full costume on the airplane, I think it might have actually been Damian Priest was covered head to toe. I don't know why he had to be a surprise. Or it might have been somebody else, and they claimed it was Damian Priest. But they're trying to make sure that, it doesn't get out. A lot of speculation that perhaps Chris Jericho will debut in the Royal Rumble. I guess we shall see. I think it'd be pretty hard to sneak Jericho on an international flight without anybody knowing, but...
I'd like to think their locker room can keep their mouth closed.
Come on, Lance. Kidding me? We also have this. AJ Styles made a couple of recent trademark filings. He is having a match with Gunther at the Royal Rumble.
Didn't he just renew them?
He has filed for 2 trademarks. I don't think this is a renewal. I think this is a filing. Alan Jones, which is his real name. The Phenomenal AJ Styles. Actually, he's filed for the Phenomenal AJ Styles and the P1 logo. And he's been using the Phenomenal nickname since at least 2001, it says. The P1 logo since 2012. And a lot of questions about what this means. Because when he had that match with Nakamura, Nakamura did go on social media, and he did legitimately tell the story about how, and it was just what, he doesn't, I don't want to say he doesn't know what's going on, but he didn't know what was going on, clearly, because he wrote this whole thing, and part of it was, I asked AJ, in Japan, when he did a promo last year, sounds like you're on your way out, and he said that AJ told him, I've already decided, I'm retiring at the Royal Rumble. So he puts all this on social media, and then very shortly thereafter, he pulls it from social media because it wasn't supposed to go up like that. So anyway, I think AJ was going to retire at the Royal Rumble. They could change it. If you've been watching a lot of WWE, there have been a lot of stories that have gotten out that didn't get changed. So if he ends up losing on Saturday, reconnect. If he ends up losing on Saturday, I have to tell Lance to reconnect. If he ends up losing on Saturday, then we have 2 other questions. One, is he retiring from wrestling and he's going to get a job backstage at WWE? Or is he going to be heading to AEW, New Japan, wherever? So these trademark filings have gotten people thinking, maybe he is going to go to AEW. Maybe he is going to go to New Japan. Maybe he's just retiring from WWE. And my guess is that he is retiring and that he is done. However, I could not help but notice that on Raw Monday, when they were talking about this match, they did very specifically say, your WWE career will be finished. They were very specific about it. They did not say his wrestling career or anything like that. They specifically said his WWE career. So I don't know what the future of AJ is, but my gut feeling is he is losing tomorrow and that he is probably done. But we'll see.
Regardless if he's done in WWE or done permanently, he's going to want those trademarks for merchandising and other things that he can do post-retirement.
Sure. He could do that. So we'll find out here in about, within 48 hours, we'll know the answer to this question. Dave noted in The Observer, we got 2 people that went back and forth. Hobbs went to WWE, Ciampa went to AEW. And Dave noted in The Observer that, there'd been a lot of talk about Hobbs going to WWE, and there was this belief that WWE had just given him this giant offer and he jumped. That is not what happened. He got a huge offer from AEW to stay, and I don't know what the number is, but I was told it was most people probably would not believe this number. But his feeling was he wanted to go to WWE, and so he turned it down and went to WWE. Dave said the offer was much higher than I would have expected, would have been a number that I believe would have been higher than anyone except Chris Jericho in 2019. He said the offer is similar to what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and others have made in recent years would be in line with what Danielson got to jump from WWE to AEW. Maybe a little less, but in line. And essentially, the theory is that, you know, if WWE offered him even anything close, I mean, they pretty much have to push him because of how much money they're paying this guy. So I do expect him to run roughshod in the Royal Rumble tomorrow. But that's the story on Hobbs, and we'll get into Ciampa after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big VDV show.
Is it?
Or reviewed Poet Armenia 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and
down
San
there.
Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm exhausted. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well,
Anyway.
can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
But he tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steel chicken jockey.
We're on the show. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Ciampa showed up in AEW on Wednesday. We'll do some Dynamite notes here in a moment. And he did an interview on The Takedown on SI.com. He said he'd been leaning towards it for quite some time. I don't know what I can say. There's one sole factor that led to it or caused it. If I wrestled in the 90s, I'd want to be part of ECW. Early 2000s, Ring of Honor. Lucky I got to do a little bit of that. 2010s, wanted to be part of NXT Black and Gold. Look at the landscape of pro wrestling. In the 2020s, want to be in AEW. That's what I want to be a part of. There are a lot of times I tried, and for one reason or another over the years in WWE, it wasn't just something that I could do. He wants to be the Psycho Killer. And WWE probably was not down with the idea of a guy called Psycho Killer. But Tony had no problem with it. And he said that he's better now than he was when he was portraying the character he did in NXT. He said, for a long time, I had to listen to people tell me, not so much directly to my face, but more so online, 2018 was prime Ciampa. I'm 100 times better now than I was then. That was nothing. He said, I finally have a shot to find out if I'm as good as I think I am. So he's wrestling Mark Briscoe on Saturday.
I bet you that'll be good.
He better win that match.
Yes.
Don't make me wield my power. He better win that match. So that's up on SI.com. What did you think of Dynamite?
There was a lot of stuff I liked. One thing I do want to put over, I've always harped and complained when commentators harp on, you need to hook the leg, and it's like, why are you pointing stuff out that just makes a talent look worse, especially when hooking the leg ain't the be-all and end-all. But Taz, to his credit, with my favorite line of the show, when it was Ace Austin flipped Mox over for a pin, and both he and Excalibur, I think, noted, I was expecting him to shoot the half, and then when Mox kicked out, I think it was Excalibur said, it's like, well, maybe that would have made the difference. And then Taz said, well, it's easier said than done. It's a lot harder to do in there than to say sitting here. And I was like, thank you, Taz, because Ace Austin was the dude getting punched in the face by Mox for 10 minutes, which isn't always conducive to the best decisions in the heat of the moment. And Taz was a total pro and protected the wrestlers and put over the fact that it's easy to be an armchair quarterback.
That's why I hate jiu-jitsu tournaments. It's just the worst. All you do is you have some guy on the outside going, triangle! Hello? I don't know, man.
It was like
It's like the competitors are expecting you to teach them jiu-jitsu from the sidelines. It's like, bro, if you don't know a triangle by the time, me screaming triangle is going to help you know that you should try a triangle right now? I don't know, whatever.
I like the fans watching MMA that scream, get up!
Yeah, get up.
The guy on the bottom never would have thought of that.
The coaches yelled the same thing. Get up! Get out of there!
Yeah, it's like
Gee,
my mother-in-law yelling at the TV telling the hockey player to shoot.
The Dynamite show, this actually would have been last week. With this whole Big Data Plus panel, everything is like a week late now. We never get the ratings the next day. Last week, the show did 498,000 viewers and a .08, which was basically the same thing the show did the week prior, the second lowest rating they've ever drawn in the category on a Wednesday night, which actually Dynamite and NXT both did a 0.08. So neither did particularly well, although that's last week's Dynamite compared to this week's NXT. Somehow they did, think about this, NXT did 674,000 viewers, but a .08 in 18 to 49. How many old people are watching this show? That's an astounding viewership versus 18 to 49 demo. So it's ties the lowest number they've done since December 30th. Neither show did particularly well, but both did way better than Collision. Last Saturday's Collision did 253,000 viewers, which, funny enough, this is another one. 253,000 viewers is the second highest audience total in the last 6 weeks. Okay? Second highest viewership in 6 weeks. Yet the 18 to 49 was a 0.02, which is the lowest rating that Collision has ever done in 18 to 49 in history. I'm not talking, it aired it Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock no, it doesn't matter what day it aired. It doesn't matter when it aired. It doesn't matter what the Collision competition was. 0.02. All-time record low for that Collision. So that's not good. And Dave noted, and this is the real issue, everybody. Yes. Is it it clear that Big Data Plus panel is very likely underrepresenting 18 to 49 viewers? Yes, that is probably true. However, this is the key, and it goes for AEW and WWE and Impact and everything. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter because they're now having to sell ads based on the show doing a 0.02. So the advertising revenue that Collision and Dynamite and NXT, the television revenue that they're generating has taken a hit by like a third. And so, everybody, I don't want to hear about ratings. Oh, it doesn't matter, blah, 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 blah. Well, it really matters for AEW because, all of the WWE programming, they're locked down for years, okay? But, AEW is not. Next year is their contract year. And in 2027, if they're doing 0.02s and their ad revenue is cut by a third or a half, I mean, they're just not. So even Rampage, which is no longer on the air, they were doing way better than a 0.02. So this is concerning. And it's also, I would find it particularly concerning that so far there has been no movement Big Data Plus panel to try to figure out the situation or remedy the situation or whatever. All I know is these numbers are very bad, and the stations they're not happy about it. But it's what's being done, and it's how they're selling the ads. So you can't argue, well, they're underrepresented, but it doesn't matter. Those aren't the real numbers. Those are the real numbers to advertisers. So not good. The TNA show actually did a 0.03. So the TNA show, I think for 2 weeks now, has outdrawn, I think it's beaten Collision every week.
In the demo.
In the demo, yeah. So we'll talk about TNA afterwards. I won't make you be here, obviously, for the full review, but I will say, Lance, it's a pretty good show.
I liked it.
I think the second and third shows both have been miles and miles and miles better than the debut. And actually, yeah, on going back to the other note, this guy here goes, let's crowdfund an Observer Live ad. Are you aware that on Monday Night Raw, not Impact, not Collision, Monday Night Raw, you can buy a 30-second spot for as low as $9,000.
Really?
Really? $9,000, guys.
Oh, that's on Netflix.
That is on Netflix, okay? But still, $9,000. So, yeah. Anyway. $9,000. Chase Owens is re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, you got a lot of people going back and forth because for reasons it's been like this for years and years and years and years and years. But New Japan, like, for the most part, they sign everybody to one-year deals, which would be fine. Like Elena Black, for example, signed a one-year deal with Impact. But they, sign everyone on the same month. So, they go through the Tokyo Dome, and then the Tokyo Dome ends, and then it's 18, 19, 20 guys have all got their contracts coming due right now. I was like, man. And, bunch of people, they decide they want to go somewhere else or whatever, and then next thing you know, it's like NXT. Where'd all the talent go? Actually, only 4 people left NXT, but I talked about last night. Somehow 4 people left NXT, and you have almost no stars on the show. You don't have 0. You've got a couple of stars in the women's division and a couple of stars in the men's division, but this show just comes across as no stars. And you gotta think about the future. Nothing is forever. You're going to have people get hurt. You're going to have people go down with injury. You're going to have people called up to the main roster. You got to figure out a way, if this happens, to have stars left over. And NXT was not prepared for that, and now they're suffering. And finally here, Cody Rhodes has a special request for wrestlers attending his eventual funeral, Lance. Wear your gear!
Yeah.
He wants everyone in gimmick, full gear. He wants to be buried in the American Nightmare Sandra Gray robe. Bury me as I was. I spent so much time giving back to pro wrestling, taking from pro wrestling, loving that I got to play a superhero. I'd like to go out as superhero. So get your gear ready, everyone.
I'm really hoping he will be in his 80s or so when he dies, and all of his friends will be too. I do not want to see all his co-workers in full gimmick in their 80s.
Well, that's going to be a great funeral. Back in a moment. Thank you, Lance. Wrestling Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
If Truth didn't have the best weekend in this company, then Mr. Iguana did.
Oh, yeah, this guy is over, dude.
We'll get to him in the Worlds Collide review, but
He's got merch up on WWE shop.
he's gonna make so much.
He's got these
money.
kids that want to see more Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So
His face paint is so funny.
I must stop you right here. It's not face
Oh,
paint.
would you stop?
It's head paint.
Yeah, it looks.
He paints his whole damn head.
It looks like he's gets held upside down and they just dunk
Dip
his
it,
head
yes.
in green paint.
Yes.
It's absolutely bizarre.
And when he's not wrestling, he wears the round silver spectacles,
Yes,
and
he
he
flicks
flicks his tongue constantly,
Yes,
as an iguana would, and he Del Toro and Octagon do whatever, and people are patient, but they don't care. And then Iguana tags in, and they are hyped. It took about 7 seconds to make himself my favorite luchador. He starts, I forget who he's in there with, but the guy offers a handshake, and so he licks it because he's an iguana, and then he gets hit with a shoulder tackle, or it's a chop. He takes a chop, he drops to his back, he sticks all four limbs straight in the air.
Yes.
He's playing dead like an iguana would. So then he brings in the puppet. I didn't get the puppet's name. I should have used it 50 times. But it's an iguana puppet that he thinks is real. Well,
already
sometimes.
Already up on WWE shop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know if Harley Cameron's doll is on the AW?
I do not know.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
So he starts doing spots with the puppet in his mouth. He lets the puppet try to get the pin. And amidst all this silliness, Conan says, you know this Mr. Iguana, he's most popular with children.
I liked how as soon as the puppet started doing spots, Corey Graves goes, is that legal in Mexico? And without skipping a beat, Conan goes, yes.
Low on the list of things you will see in a Lucha Libre match, especially in AAA. So he starts using the puppet more as a weapon, or as a distraction, I should say. But it ends up with Lindsay Dorado getting a hold of this puppet, and he snaps, and he stomps the puppet, and he grabs the puppet, and he Spanish flies the puppet. This crowd is outraged. They're pissed. They're furious. But you know he's even more pissed and furious?
It got more heat than anything else. Maybe on the entire show,
Mr.
actually.
Goddamn Iguana.
They were
who's
furious.
Seething, and his eyes are breaking out, and he snaps and just rips ass. He grabs his own lizard and is whipping these guys with it. And then they remember it's just a puppet, and they stop selling.
This was a very, very fun match. I liked it a lot. And there's a lot to learn here about marketing.
Yeah.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance is departed as we discuss the TNA Impact show from last night. I want to mention, by the way, we didn't review Dynamite yesterday, but we reviewed it on the Bryan and Vinny show. For subscribers, WrestlingObserver.com and video.f4wonline.com, Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. Just want to say that I thought the show was quite good. It made that NXT show even worse, for being honest. But a lot of changes I liked. They had several matches where I feel in the past I love Rocky Romero. He's been a guest on the show many times. He does not need to be dominating 80% of a match with Kenny Omega. But he didn't. They did the match. Every match on the show was exactly what it should have been and exactly how long it should have been. I thought that was a huge improvement. We had a lot of video packages recapping things that had happened to remind us of what had happened in the past. And in the main event, I swear to God, when they announced this match, I started out furious. Like, why is Andrade in this world title tournament? Andrade's had 2 matches since he came back. He beat Angelico and he beat Magnus. That's it. And now he's in this mini tournament thingy that they're doing for a world title shot. And at first I was like, why is he in this? Like, I like him, but it doesn't make sense that he is in here over someone like a Kyle Fletcher or an Okada or whoever. And then they announce he's facing Swerve, and I'm like, okay, so he's just a body in here to have a banger who's going to lose. And then, we're back to Swerve and Hangman. And I have nothing against those guys. I think those guys are all great. But what I want is somebody new in the world title picture. And incredibly, Andrade won this match. And he's got a new lease on life. Like, I think he's realized this is it. I've burned a bridge. I burned a different bridge. And then they built the bridge back to this place again. I can't burn it again. He was on fire in this match. And when it was over, like, the people were behind him. And then they had a backstage segment and people are chanting Idolo. They're like going crazy for this guy. I was like, my God, this is what I've been wanting. And so next week, it's Andrade and Kenny Omega. I'm in the same position where I figure, like, I got nothing against Kenny. He's great. But I feel like we need something different. And I'm hoping next week Andrade wins that match. But not sure it's going to happen. But I thought this was an excellent edition of Dynamite. And a lot of positive changes in a good direction. Thought it was good. And also this TNA Impact show. This Impact, it's not like the best show in the world. But it's a very solid, easy to watch, 2-hour wrestling show. And yes, the debut show was, I don't have a strong enough word on the radio, an atrocity, a disaster. It was appalling, horrific, whatever adjective you want to come up with. It was so bad. But then week 2, I thought, man, week 2 was pretty good. And week 3 may have been even better than week 2. Why they couldn't do something like this for the debut? Well, it's still Impact. That's the only answer I've got. But I thought this was a good show. So it opened up with the System coming down to the ring. Last week they turned heel. They turned on Moose. They turned on the retired JDC. And they're doing this promo explaining that Moose was selfish and JD was only riding the coattails of the System. And out comes Alicia Edwards. She is the wife of Eddie Edwards. And when they turned on everybody last week, she was selling it like they hadn't filled her in. And so she comes out, and in fact, she reveals, unless it's a swerve, which I expect, by the way, she says, why didn't you guys fill me in? She's really upset. Eddie goes, listen, you knew, or then she says, you know what? I'm not sure I want to be with the System, and my deal's coming up soon. And he's like, you're going to leave because of what we did? And she says, I don't want to be any part of this. And Eddie says, you're going to put your business in front of these people? I thought it was supposed to be ride or die. And she goes, I don't want to be a part of it. And she leaves. So they're teasing that she's going to leave TNA. Her contract's coming due. I suspect that she's going to screw somebody and it's going to be a swerve and she'll end up back with the System. But right now, it could go either way. Because in storyline, they're making you believe that she actually didn't know, and maybe she didn't. We had a Nick Nemeth BDE match. BDE is a YouTuber, but he also is a trained wrestler. He started working I think he started training 2 years ago. He's been working about a year, done a lot of indies. They said 25 matches. And, this match, I mean, for what it was good. This one, I will say, did not need to go quite as long as it did because it was basically, BDE hit a dive and then Nemeth cut him off and got heat. and he beats him through the commercial break. And they should have just come right back for the comeback, but they came back for even more heat. And then he got like a very short comeback, and then he goes for the springboard cutter, which is like the hottest move on the indies. It's like everyone's finish. And Nemeth turned it into a zigzag out of midair and pinned him. And I thought this was a good match. BDE's got a lot of talent, and Nemeth did a great job with him. So then Ryan Nemeth comes out, and he calls out Mara Sade, and he says, I beat you at the pay-per-view, and you need to admit that I am the superior athlete, and I beat you in a wrestling match at Genesis. And Mara Sade, who's a babyface, by the way, and he did beat her, Mara Sade says, you didn't beat me, you got away with one. I was like, well, he did beat you. But anyway, he says, you must be attracted to me. And so she starts throwing punches. And, you know, as a worker, I feel like Mara Sade still has a long way to go. But I got to say, man, she threw some good punches in this segment. And then he ends up hitting her with a lariat, which got incredible heat. And he stands over her, and the refs come down to break it up. So I guess their feud must continue. Elegance Brand did a celebration with Ash backstage. She has been cleared to wrestle. So she did have some legitimate health issue. She hasn't revealed what it is yet. I guess she thought maybe her career really was over. But she's been cleared, and so she's back. And they set up a 6-person when Zaya and Indy Hartwell showed up with Lei Ying Lee. So they're going to do a 6-person coming up here, I would presume, next week. We had Stax against the hometown man. Here's another one. If I got one problem with this show, and I can't say yet because I haven't been watching a lot of TNA television, but I can see all these seeds being planted. We got another one here. Ariana is Santino's daughter. Santino's obviously the babyface GM. Stax is a heel. Ariana is legitimately Stax's fiance. She's been a heel. Last week, out of nowhere, she goes to Santino and apologizes. She's sorry for everything that happened. He forgives her. They hug. So this week she comes out and, you know, she's claiming she's going to be on the straight and narrow. And so Stax keeps trying to cheat. He wants her to give him the belt, blah, blah, blah. She won't do it. And so he's getting more and more angry. She doesn't want to be a part of any of this. And so finally he rakes the eyes. She can't take it. So she turns around to not watch. And as she turns around, he hits the guy with the belt and pins him. And so she turns around. She sees Stax as one. She's so excited. I told you you could do it without cheating. She doesn't know he's cheated. And so they go backstage, and Santino shows up, and he is not happy. And Ariana says, Stax, what happened? And Stax goes, I did it my way. And now she's upset. And she goes, Santino, I will deal with this. And she chews out Stax, and she says, this is not okay. And she walks off. Again, I presume this also is a swerve. And if like every single storyline ends up being a swerve, I'm not going to like it. So we need to have a few that aren't the obvious swerve, because these all feel too obvious. We had Hotch against the Drifter, Elijah. You guys remember Elijah from WWE? In fact, the announcers call him the Drifter, which warms my heart. And they had a very good TV match, which if you would have told me, I would have been very skeptical, but I saw it with my own eyes. They had a good match. These people love the Drifter. They're so into this guy. And Hotch misses a spot off the top. They have a striking battle. Elijah hits a knee strike out of midair, tombstones him, pins him. This was a legitimately good match with the Drifter. And then the heels beat down Elijah afterwards. He demands Elijah's guitar, Ali, but Elijah makes his own comeback. He took a freaking wild swing at Ali with this guitar, but Ali bailed. And fans go nuts for the Drifter. So there you go. Had a segment with this new wrestler, Jada Stone. She's all excited about being in TNA. The Order 4 tries to interrupt. She tells him off. Tasha Steelz gets in her face. And Tasha ends up slapping her, which, God blesses Jada. She oversold this slap like she'd been hit with a missile. And Elijah shows up, so it looks like we'll have some mixed tags there. Elena Black versus Ruthie J. Elena Black is the former Cora Jade. Daria is out there doing commentary. Daria is very good at her job. Elena Black, God bless her. I mean, she showed me nothing in this match. It was just a one-sided match, just like basic spots. Ruthie made a short comeback. Ruthie actually might have looked better than Elena in this match. And then Elena hit her with a neckbreaker of some sort for the pin. And, I mean, just nothing in the ring. I mean, she just comes out and her promos aren't very good. Most of what she does is just posing. And I was not impressed with this match at all. Then we had the Hardys and the Righteous backstage. The Righteous do this speech. And you got to watch this just to watch Jeff Hardy's face. He has absolutely no idea what these guys are talking about. He doesn't say one word. He just looks at him like, well, what are you talking about? And finally, Matt goes, what are you talking about? And essentially, the Righteous, they say, how about instead of fighting, we fight together? So I guess they want to team up. Time to open the briefcases. I need to talk about this with Lance on Monday because I want to discuss. I hate this Feast or Fired. I think the concept is so stupid. But there is, I believe, a way to do it right, but they don't do it. So I want to discuss that with Lance on Monday. But Trey goes to open the briefcase. Please don't let this happen twice in 1 month, he says. And in fact, he gets the shot at the international title. Eddie's next. He gets a shot at the world title. Steve Macklin is next. Fired. And then Eric Young has the X Division title shot. And they go back to the announcers, and Tom Hannafin, I swear to God, he is in tears. He's crying. He was my best friend. Which made the concept even more stupid. But we'll talk about this on another day. And then at the pay-per-view, we had Rich Swann and AJ Francis in the opener. And I thought that match was really good. Like 3 3/4 stars. They had a no-holds-barred match here. This was as good or better than that match. I know people hate AJ Francis, but like as a big guy who the people hate, who gets heat, he's beyond competent in his job. And Rich Swann was great, and they worked together great. And finally, Swann hit a Hurricane Rana onto chairs, a frog splash on the chairs. He pinned the guy. Great match, great heat. I mean, a genuinely excellent main event. Rich Swann versus AJ Francis, no holds barred. We'll talk about more after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Chat GPT, SmackDown review starring Filthy Tom and Bryan Alvarez.
Welcome back, you miserable wretches, to another disaster of an episode of Figure 4 Daily, the only show on the internet that's guaranteed to make your brain rot faster than watching one of these SmackDown episodes. I'm your host, Filthy Tom Waller, joined by the man who somehow manages to be more useless than a rubber knife in a prison fight, Bryan Alvarez. What's up, Bryan?
Let's not pretend you're the shining star of this operation. You're like a broken pencil. Pointless. And I don't even know I'm still here with you. Anyway, let's get to this train wreck of a SmackDown. Spoiler alert, if you were expecting a wrestling show, you've come to the wrong place. It was like watching someone fall asleep in real time.
You should know all about falling asleep, Bryan, since you've been half dead for years now. If enthusiasm was an Olympic sport, you would get a participation medal for showing up, but still lose.
I tell the crowd was hyped for Drew, and Nakamura's music is always a banger, but it was just nothing. It's like watching a 5-minute commercial for a product you don't even want to buy.
And I bet the only thing that was more uninspiring than this match was your entire existence. Let's move on before I fall asleep right here on this microphone.
Tom, you think because you're a former fighter, that makes you a wrestling expert? You'd probably lose in a match with a traffic cone. Look, Jade's a star, but Liv Morgan, she's the human version of a please wait screen.
Liv Morgan is about as useful as a sandbag at a swimming pool party, who's like trying to make a turkey sandwich with no bread.
It's like the crowd went from yay to who's got the remote. Can we change the channel?
Liv Morgan's biggest move is making the audience wish for better things. She's like the human version of a wet sock. Nobody wants it.
I get it, Tom. You don't like fun. You don't like energy. You don't like anything that's not just sitting on your couch in your pajamas complaining.
More of the same.
Oh, we're back to more of the same, huh? Just like your wrestling career. More of the same, but somehow still a disaster.
Well, that's it, folks. SmackDown 2025 was more like SmackDown 2005. Same old stuff, same old disappointments. Join us next time when we tear apart something else for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, next time, Tom, maybe we'll actually have some real wrestling to talk about instead of whatever disaster this was. Until then, just remember, don't listen to Tom and don't watch SmackDown unless you hate yourself.
Whatever. It's your funeral.
What? I've never been so embarrassed doing this show as I was for the last 5 minutes. God. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. It is Royal Rumble weekend, and the plan is on Saturday. Vinny, my buddy Mark, and I are going to start watching about 6 o'clock in the evening, 9 Eastern. We can't watch it live. It starts at 11 o'clock Pacific, by the way, 2 Eastern. So we're going to start watching about 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And we should be done by midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then we will go live on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're listening to this through whatever you're listening to this, you can watch the post show live and free on Twitch if you sign up with your Amazon Prime account. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you got to pay like $4.95 for Twitch or whatever. But if you have Amazon Prime, which many of you do, you can get a free subscription to our Twitch channel. Just go to subscribe, link your Amazon Prime account, and it is a free Amazon Prime perk, a Twitch subscription every month. So twitch.tv/F4W video, or you can watch live video.f4wonline.com. And, of course, the audio after it's over, that show and Observer Radio Saturday night with myself and Dave Meltzer. Those will be available at WrestlingObserver.com, where you can get all of the archives, or F4WOnline.com/Spotify, where you can get the audio and video, and F4WOnline.com/Apple if you want to do Apple Podcasts. And Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You can get all of the videos and audios. Although on Apple, there's no video on Apple. They won't allow it. But YouTube and Spotify, you can get audio and video. Apple Podcasts, you can get audio only. Those are all just $9.99 per month. So it's a fun time to sign up because we do 84 shows every month. And this is the hottest time of the year, really, for everybody. Because WrestleMania season, a rising tide. You know, more people are watching wrestling during this period than any other period during the year. Usually helps AEW and everybody else as well. So a good time to sign up. So check it out, WrestlingObserver.com, Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And we will talk to you tomorrow, Wrestling Observer Live.